This could be the most important video you watch all month, potentially all year. I am going to discuss not only what's going on, but what will happen, how this will dramatically affect your life in the coming years. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. First, my name is David Quintieri. This is the Money GPS, and what I do here on this channel is I break down all of these falsehoods and bring you the exclusive truth. In today's video, we are going to talk about, yes, the effects of inflation, rising prices, and so on, but not just sitting there, not just watching it happen, but actually taking action to do your best to try to resolve it, to try to mitigate it, and hopefully be better off at the end of the day. This is a very difficult task. You can watch videos, you can skip this one, but you are going to be worse off as a result. The information I will give you today, outlined right here, is extremely beneficial. Some stuff that I've employed, most of it, others have employed, and their lives have been better as a result. So let's begin. The first thing we need to do in any circumstance, the things that we have to do are to establish a base, a foundation. If you read my first book, you'd understand. It starts with foundation. And once we get that foundation, we could put the bricks up on top of that. If we don't have that good foundation, you're going to be in big trouble. So I've written this all down and I want to get to that right here. Look. In order to thrive during what's coming, first of all, what is coming? We can see that there's going to be higher prices. We know that there's inflation. We know that there will be shortages. It's going to be harder and more difficult to get certain things. We know that there will be these mega conglomerates that decide what prices are, what the ingredients are in these foods. We know that that's how it works, okay? More of that. More of that. The next thing, establish what is known and what is unknown. If you don't get to that point, you can't go on to the next level. You can't get that for yourself. You can't figure, well, you know what? I think something might happen. No, you don't know. You got to understand what is official, what is documented, what is known. And then we say, what is the unknown? And of course, these are both important points. But if we don't establish those two things, we have no argument. We have nothing to stand on. And that's why I've argued with people for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. When you look at this, you see the people who are based on opinion and who are based on fact. Next thing, know where you are at. What's your situation? That's what I want to get to today. You. This is all about you. If you don't understand your situation, well, then, you're going to be taking the wrong advice. I see this all the time. What is the best investment? The best investment is stocks. What is the best investment? You go to the next video. The best investment is real estate. You go to the next one. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do because you're listening to all these different people who have a different agenda. So first, understand where you are at. Most people, I get it. No. You don't. Take the time, write it down. Do you have a notepad? You got to get one. This is very important. You have to start writing these things down, taking action on these things, and not just, okay, buddy, I get it. That's not an action taker. The reason why some people have success and others don't is because of the level of action that they take. I took action many, many years ago. You should do the same. Don't just continue to go on and do what you were doing before. This might be uncomfortable. The information I share here is stuff that I talk about with my, what I used to call the mentorship classes or the live classes that I conduct. These people, I can have this hard conversations with them because I know that they're going to take action. How much money currently do you have? Okay, this is the question that you need to start asking yourself. You need to look at this and think to yourself, okay, well, where am I at? Well, I need to know the money. I need to realize that costs are going to rise. And if costs are going to rise, well, then I need to realize that I'm already tight. Things are going to get even tighter. I'm in big trouble. So establish that. Understand. Just write it down on the paper. Be honest with yourself. Do you currently, basically the skills that you have, do they make enough money for what you're dealing with now or into the future? Some people are already in debt. Well, maybe those skills are going to be less valuable as time goes on. Address that immediately. How do you do that? Well, you upgrade your skills. How can you upgrade your skills? I've talked about this before. I have a short here on YouTube, but I've talked about it before. Class Central. If you want to go have all these different schools, MIT, Stanford, everything, they give free, absolutely free university courses that you can take online. Class Central. That's one way to upgrade your skills. You can upgrade them through any, you could be an apprentice somewhere. You could work for somebody for free, be an intern somewhere. You got to do what you got to do. Now's the time. Learn a money-making skill. So that's what I did. The skills I had previously were not reasonable to be able to achieve what I wanted to achieve. So I learned a new skill. I learned multiple skills actually. But in doing so, and I'm still doing that today, I'm able to pursue other things. Looking at this, the next aspect is where you live conducive to your goals. If you're like, yeah, I want to live in a very safe place with a lot of land and, be able to, take care of my family and this and that. Oh, but you live in the middle of the city in an urban environment that is crime ridden. Probably not where you should be living based on your goals. What are your goals? Some people would say the most important thing is that I have a very close proximity to where I work. I do not want to do this travel. Okay, if that's your goal, well, then make it so, right? Don't go against what your goals are because that's how people become unhappy. That's how they fall into levels of when they feel depressed and all these things is because they're not going towards their goals. You got to achieve these things and you will if you take the action necessary. So I've got a few things, 4 things, in fact. I'm going to cover these, but understand that after that, I'm going to give you the secret sauce, as they call it, okay? Only for those who stay. Is your current economic situation able to handle another 2020 increase in rise in prices? You probably experienced that. 2020 was crazy, but I think you better understand here what you're going to see is another one of those. Another one of those. Can you deal with that? If not, be careful. Okay. If you're Ken Griffin, the guy from Citadel, if you are Bezos, you're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. If you're Mark Zuckerberg, who just got himself another $700 million a year, you're going to be fine. Everybody else, not so sure. What do you do? Right? What are you going to do? Well, a few things. Buy stuff now. If you know that's going to be more expensive later, buy that stuff now. Have a garden. I can't have a garden. There are community gardens. There are gardens at church. There are, ways to grow some level of food indoors. These things can happen. We just got to take action against them. Most people say, I can't do it. That's not action. Okay? I wouldn't work with somebody like that, in my opinion. Buy in bulk. You, your friends, your neighbors, whatever, you can be buying in bulk to save money. You could buy at the food terminals, save money. That's bulk buying. Or you could move. Sometimes literally just moving one location to another reduces your cost dramatically. Easier said than done, I understand, but these are the suggestions. These are things that you could be doing that most people don't. All right? Increase your income. Again, how are you going to do that? You can increase your income in your current job, in your current position. You can move within that position. You can move within a different department in that same company. You can move to a different company, but in that same type of position. Or you can, of course, learn a new skill. You got to also squeeze down your expenses. I did this myself. I didn't need to do this, but I did this myself. I squeezed down the expenses, and in doing so, are able to trim the fat where it didn't need to before because we're moving into tighter times. So what did I do? I trimmed the expenses, that lowering my bottom line and what I would need to spend, and then tried to increase the top line. You can't do that necessarily in a 9-to-5 so much, but of course, as a business owner, you have different abilities in that sense. Okay. Next thing, what do you have that could be an asset? And you're thinking, well, like stocks and bonds. What are you talking about? No. What about the fact that you have something that somebody wants? Is that true? Do you have something in your house, in your possession that somebody else wants? That's money. What are some examples? Tools, your car. Turo, Turo. I did a video about this years ago. You could basically be renting out your car, or if you had a second car that was just kind of sitting there, you don't need it or infrequently need it, maybe it's like a truck or something, you could be renting that out, or you could buy it specifically for that purpose. That's just one example. Your tools or websites where people go there to rent tools. You've got, your clothes. If you have luxury items, a lot of people just, they want to look good for a particular party or a job interview. You could be renting that out to people, okay? Your pool. You don't think your people want your pool? People make a good amount of money. There are websites that just for that, to rent out their pool, to rent out their backyard. People make good cash. Then they have other things, like if you want snacks, if you want to be served beverages or something, you could do that, and you can actually make money with that. So use it as an asset. Maybe not permanently, maybe not, you don't want to do that, but you want to have some way to increase your income. Believe me, it can be done. Don't just sit there and take it. Do something about it. These are uncomfortable conversations, but I hope you appreciate it. And if you did, let me know what you did appreciate in the comments, because I want to hear from you directly. I got a couple more, and then I will give you the secret at the end, okay? Must be creative or you will be worse off. Those who are not creative in this time frame will be worse off. That is a fact. Will they be destitute? Not necessarily, but worse off? Yes. Okay. They're going to print a heck of a lot of money. Bezos and Zuckerberg are going to love it. And other individuals will be worse off as a result. Traditional ways will not be enough. You need to start thinking out of the box. You need to start getting creative at this time. Okay. The last thing, investing in where the money flows. If you don't do that, well, of course, you're going against the grain. You got to go with the trend. That's optimal. Counter trend, not as optimal. It depends. There are some times where you want to be against the trend. That doesn't mean, this is the hot stock, I'm going to go invest in that. No. It means where the trend is. Follow the money. Are they printing a whole bunch of money? Well, then you want to be investing in risk assets. Are they draining the money supply? By the way, that's Fed net liquidity, something I talk about in the Friday live sessions. Not what you're thinking. Fed net liquidity. Okay. And then what is the government investing in? So you got to understand it. But by the way, just because the government invests in it doesn't mean that it's a buy. But if there are going to be trillions of dollars going into something, it's, kind of puts the wind at the sails, if you understand. And what are the insiders doing? You could look at this. I've got videos about this as well. Open Insiders being one resource where you could see where the insiders are putting their money. Are they selling? Are they buying? Where's that going? Of course, then you also have the politicians as well. You stayed until the end, and you will get to hear what I believe is the number one, the secret to success at this time. Maybe not in 10 years, maybe not in 20 years, I don't know. But at this time, as you're watching this video here in 2024, you need a scalable business model. That's how you can manage to still work a 9-to-5 job. You see, if your business was shoveling driveways, that's your business on the side, you can do that, right? You can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You got a 9-to-5. You're going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to shovel 3, 4, 5, 6 driveways. You're going to make that happen. Then you got to go to work. You're exhausted. You're not going to perform as well at that 9-to-5. You're going to come home dead tired. You got to go to bed at 8 p.m. It's not a very fun thing. A scalable business is one you start working at, and it makes money while others are sleeping, while people are sleeping at this time. Okay. You can do that 24/7. All right. You can look at, this is what I cover on the Sunday live sessions. But I've also got the free, if you go to my Amazon course, free portion of it is on YouTube, on my playlists. I show you all the time. The Sunday class sees it. $10,000 a month products are not rare. Okay, not at all. It's actually a lot easier than you would think. That being said, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier than you would think. Okay, $10,000 a month. Okay, and if you're asking, well, is that sales? Is that profit? Both of them. You could find both. You'll see products that make $30,000 a month in revenue. Okay, and judging by, let's say, a 30% profit margin, you do the math. It's good money. No job allows you to build something on the side at this level while you're working full time. Okay, you just can't. Yes, you can make money any way you can, and I think people should do it any way they can. But in this right here, a scalable business. So what am I talking about with scalable business models? That could be Amazon, that could be a Walmart selling. I do both of those. It could be TikTok Shop, is newer thing. It could be on Etsy. It could be on all these different platforms. Why? Because you do the work, you find the product, you do the thing that you need to do, you send your products over there, and then they take care of it. Okay, there's more to it than that, of course, but in doing that, they're doing the work 24/7, not you. That's how we mitigate inflation with a scalable business model. I talk about this frequently on the Sunday live sessions, every Sunday live session, in fact. And I won't stop harping on it because this is the way. This is the way that people can outgrow what's happening today. Will you be able to withstand what happened in 2020 again? So on top of what we experienced. I hope you will. I just want to share this stuff with you guys. Okay. I'm not well today, but I'm still coming here, still bringing you what you need to know because it's so important. Okay. Let me know what you think of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.